The following program on PBS 39 is made possible in part by Arts Weekly, celebrating regional expression, performance, and creativity, is brought to you in part by the Edward D. and Ione Auer Foundation, the Ian and Mimi Rowland Foundation, the family of Dr. Christopher and Kirsten LaSalle, and the support of viewers like you. Thank you. This is Arts Weekly. Arts Weekly is produced in cooperation with the College of Visual and Performing Arts at IPFW, offering degrees in fine arts, music, theater, and visual communication and design.
Welcome to Arts Weekly. I'm John O'Connell, Dean of the IPFW College of Visual and Performing Arts. On today's show, we are featuring the University of St. Francis School of Creative Arts. Later in the show, we'll be joined by Gallery Director Justin Johnson. But first, I'll visit with my counterpart at St. Francis, Rick Cartwright, Dean of the School of Creative Arts. Welcome to Arts Weekly, Rick. Thank you for coming and joining us.
Thanks for having me, John.
Well, you have quite a history. When we had lunch a few weeks ago, I was so surprised to hear your long history with St. Francis. You've been there
39 years.
39 years.
39
That's
years.
Incredible. Well, they're lucky because
Thank you.
institutional memory is really important to a university.
I have experienced lots of things and a lot of growth. And
some of the
39
major
years.
changes are the size of the university, the programs offered. Did you come in as the dean, or did you come in as a
No, I
faculty?
came in as a faculty member in a two-person department at the time. And we had 32 art majors, and it now has grown into a full school with multiple programs and about 260 majors.
Wow.
So
And you are a fine artist
I am a
yourself.
fine artist, yes.
And your medium is
Painting and drawing.
painting and drawing. Well,
Yes.
you were very young when you came to St. Francis.
Yes.
And how long have you been dean?
About 9 years.
Uh-huh.
And chair before that, and then a faculty member before that.
Well, you know, it's interesting because, you know, someone who's at a university for 39 years might rest on their laurels. But I have to say, you're not doing that, Rick Cartwright.
No, we are.
Especially the last 4 or 5 years. It's like you are really ramping up your energies and your collaborations in the city. You've got some big projects that have come up. I
Yes.
think first and foremost, everybody knows about the purchase of the Scottish Rite.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we purchased that 2 years ago, and we're now in the fundraising stage of remodeling that facility to house our music technology program and our meta program, and to expand our theater program. So we have lots of dreams for that particular facility.
Right.
At the same time, we also purchased the chamber building right next door.
Right.
And the School of Business will be moving in that facility.
But since you've purchased it, you've been using it mainly as a performance center.
That's correct.
For theater and for music and concerts.
That's correct.
And you have visiting artists, I think, who come through there as well.
That's correct, yes.
You have a show opening there soon.
Just this weekend on Friday night, The Man Who Came to Dinner.
A great old comedy.
Old comedy.
An old comedy. And I'm surprised to find out you're the set designer.
Yes, I do that on the side. That's a process that I've always enjoyed. I had a minor in set design in grad school.
Oh, okay.
And so this gives me that outlet, and I've enjoyed doing that for the
What are
last
the
4 or 5
challenges
years.
of designing a set for the Scottish Rite? Because it's a
big
pretty wide
stage.
stage.
It's the largest actual stage in Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
And so, with this number of actors, you have to take that into consideration. And, it's just a big space.
So
and we're not used to that big
Right.
space yet because we were on campus in much smaller venues. And so we're getting used to it.
Do you bring the set down then? Do you
No,
design-
we're using the full stage.
Oh, wow.
And
That's an undertaking because it's a period play. I mean, it
period-
calls for a mansion and
Absolutely.
Lots of beautiful furniture, lots of doors, and
absolutely,
yeah.
Lots of movement.
Great.
And lots of space for a wheelchair to move around
Right,
in.
right.
And
because the lead character, the main comic character, is in a wheelchair.
the full show.
For the full show,
Yes.
and that's played by local star Chris Murphy.
That's correct.
Yeah,
yes.
he's terrific for that role.
Yes,
yeah.
he's doing a great job.
And how do we get tickets for that before we move on to other information?
Use Arts United, ArtTix.
Oh.
And just go on and you can order your tickets online, or you can get them the night of the show.
That's great.
At the door.
At the door. So you guys are working with ArtsTix downtown.
Yes.
Oh, that's a great idea. That's I think there's a lot of people using it now who aren't just part of Arts United, but it's a great service, and it takes care of so many problems you don't have to worry about. That number is 260-422-4226, 260-422-4226 for tickets to The Man Who Came to Dinner for School of Creative Arts opening this weekend at the USF Performing Arts Center downtown.
That's great.
Well, so you've said that it's in construction or renovation hopes for the future because you have other programs that are moving in there.
That's correct.
Tell me a little bit about META. What does that stand for, and what are your hopes for that?
Well, the META is multimedia entrepreneurship training in the arts, and our goal there is to provide our students with opportunities to work both on on-campus projects and business projects from the community, and to help them develop those skills that would allow them to open their own business or to be prepared for the business world once they graduate. So right now we're working primarily with the School of Creative Arts and the School of Business, and next year it will expand with the other schools and students coming from those
Well, you're ahead of the
well.
game. You're ahead of the game. I've just become dean, and one of the things I hope to do in the future at IPFW is that same idea that we're not teaching our students, our art students, this entrepreneurial idea of the fact that you might be an artist, but guess what? Today you got to be a business person.
You got to be a business person.
You got to know what a grant looks like, how to write one, what kind of collaboration you can do with other artists in order to create your own work and your own energy.
You're absolutely right.
I was at a conference, ICFAD, you know ICFAD.
Yes,
and
I
that
do.
was like a big theme, was that this idea that entrepreneurship within the art community, we've got to instill it, because we're graduating these students who are great artists and have no idea how to make themselves successful.
That's right, and they have to learn to work as teams. They have to learn to problem solve.
Right.
And that's such an important part of education today, and what I think the job world is needing.
Yeah.
And these students are very creative, and they have a lot to offer businesses. And I think if they learn those particular skills and how to communicate their particular talents, they will have a step up.
And don't you think they're asking more from us?
Oh,
This idea of multimedia. Well,
I think everybody's asking more of us.
Yeah, everybody is, exactly.
Yes.
The people that we're producing workers for are asking more from us. But I just think our students are coming in these days, this idea of multimedia. I mean, they're coming in saying, well, yeah, I can draw, but I also know something about the computer, and I also want to do some animation, and I want to do some music technology, I want to do some video stuff. So we have to meet that challenge.
And they all have to work together to,
Yeah.
they have to understand each other's talents and each other's particular area and how to communicate the need between one area and the other. And I think that this program is an excellent way in which to bring all of that together.
And you also have a new art therapy. I don't know if it's new, but you have a new art therapy
This is our
program.
first year.
First year, okay.
First year, introducing art therapy, and it's pre-art therapy.
All right.
Because a traditional art therapy program is a graduate program. So we've introduced a pre-art therapy program that would prepare students to go on to graduate school. So it's very intensive studio art, art education, psychology, social work.
I'm
those
surprised
particular
by,
areas.
we have a music therapy program at IPFW, and I'm surprised by the level of expectation that they all go on to a graduate program.
Yes.
That the real degrees are the graduate degrees, not the undergraduate
That's
study.
correct.
Those are just the prep to a graduate
That's
program.
correct. It's
And
kind of
that's-
like being a lawyer.
Yeah, right, for
I
music
mean,
therapy.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
and art
mean,
therapy.
it's a similar
That's great.
mode of, or transference, I think.
Yeah. And then you announced last spring, I think, this I think one of the most significant things for your school is your collaboration with the Fort Wayne Ballet.
Yes.
Tell us about this.
Very excited.
Yeah.
You know, we've worked on this particular project for 5 or 6 years.
It takes a while.
It takes a while, and it was the first major collaboration that the university has done with another body. And so, you know, it took a while to work out all the kinks and to get all the players in place to make this happen. But we're very excited, and, you know, it's been extremely well received.
Yeah.
And
well, you're opening the doors for the Fort Wayne Ballet to just offer a college degree.
That's correct.
It's like you've opened a conservatory at your university.
And it provides our students a wonderful opportunity to experience dance. I mean, it's a 2-level.
So are they coming to you to teach? Because you've got some nice dance studios, or is it back and forth?
We go back and forth,
You do?
but the primary college program is downtown in the Fort Wayne Ballet studios,
which are incredible.
Yes.
Since the new Performing Arts program.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
well, that's fantastic.
It's very exciting.
They get a college degree
Yes.
because they're taking general study with you and sort of the core material with St. Francis.
That's correct.
Yeah, I don't think people understand why it takes 5 or 6 years to put something like that together.
No.
The idea of accreditation, of curriculum development, of getting the state to recognize these kinds of degrees doesn't happen overnight.
That's right. And then you have a new facility that you have to be responsible for as well, and make sure that it meets all the national standards. And
Absolutely.
so, you know, then you have the national accreditation boards that you have to answer to. And it does take a lot of time, a lot of energy. And, you know, I'm just very proud of the ballet folks because they've had the patience to work through all of those issues with us, and vice versa.
Right.
But
well, it's a win-win for both of you, and I think
it's a win-win for Fort Wayne.
Oh, it's a win-win for Fort Wayne. Absolutely. Yeah. It's going to attract dancers from around the state who want to study and also get a college degree. So, well, as I said to start with, you are certainly not resting on your laurels after 39 years.
No, we're keeping going.
I'm so glad to hear about it all. Thank you for joining me, and stick around because we're going to continue talking about St. Francis after our break. In just a minute, St. Francis Gallery Director Justin Johnson will be joining us, so please take this time to view our performance calendar of what's coming up in our area. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We'll be right back to hear more about what is in store for the art galleries at St. Francis. The University of St. Francis School of Creative Arts has 5 galleries that showcase a variety of work from students and faculty, as well as national and international artists. Joining us to talk about the galleries and current and upcoming exhibitions is Gallery Director Justin Johnson. Welcome to Arts Weekly, Justin. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, now your boss is sitting to your right. I just want to give you a heads up on that. So let's make sure we get everything right.
I'm on it.
No pressure. Live television and your boss. Welcome. How long have you been with St. Francis?
This is my 12th year.
Oh, terrific. Did
Yes.
you start as a gallery director?
No, it's been a strange path. I've always lived here in Fort Wayne, and I did my undergraduate degree at the University of St. Francis, and then I went into advertising, and then had an opportunity to come back to St. Francis, focus on my master's degree, and I began the gallery position at that point. So.
And that was 12 years ago?
Yes.
And your undergraduate was in what area?
It was in both studio art and commercial art.
Oh.
So I'm able to use both of those interests to support the galleries that we serve now.
Okay, well here's proof positive, Rick. The entrepreneurial idea we're just talking about.
Absolutely.
Here he is.
He's a great example.
He is a great example.
Great
We're going to take him
example.
to the front of the class.
Yes.
Example A, here.
Yes.
Well, how many
absolutely.
galleries do you guys have? A ton of galleries over there. So
It
what do you
keeps
have?
us hopping.
Yeah.
We have 5 galleries on the university campus,
Wow.
which is phenomenal for our students as well as for the campus and community.
Yeah.
It begins with the Weatherhead Gallery at our main facility that showcases national and international exhibitions. And within that facility, we also have the Goldfish Gallery, whose mission is to showcase student exhibitions that students help curate and participate in, as well as an Artist Spotlight Gallery that also allows our students to showcase their work in tandem with the national and international shows that we put on.
So the students are responsible for that, the working of that gallery.
Under
Who
the-
goes in it, what's in it, everything that happens with it.
Yes, under
Terrific.
the direction of our faculty and staff, that they have an opportunity to, again, put together shows that they're interested in, partner with as teams, and
Yeah.
It's a great opportunity for them to exhibit their work locally.
Absolutely.
And to experience that from a professional point of view or pre-professional point of
Right.
view.
How do I submit?
How do I submit? How do I hang it? How do I prepare it? How do I bring
How
the
do I
work
take
in?
no
Yes,
when
yes.
that's not ready? You're
Right.
not ready to show yet.
Or I didn't get the right spot.
Oh, exactly right. I didn't get the door.
Right.
I'm behind that corner. Nobody goes around.
Absolutely.
that's
So it's a great
fantastic.
learning experience.
Yeah, great.
I mean,
Do you teach at all? I just was wondering if you teach at all. Or
I
if you
have
just,
taught classes in the past, but the gallery position has become comprehensive enough.
all-consuming.
Yes, that I spend so much time traveling and focusing on the galleries that
Right.
I am able to counsel students on an individual basis through our work study program and gallery internship program, but no classes at this point.
Do you have galleries off-site?
Well, we have 2 other galleries on campus
Okay.
outside the facility. We have our Roland Gallery at the University Library that also showcases student exhibitions and works from the university's collection. Then at our North Campus facility, we have our Lepke Gallery, which the mission of that is to showcase the university's growing permanent collection.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic. And so those are, when you say North Campus, I'm not sure I know what that means.
Our North Campus facility is includes our university auditorium. It's on the other side of campus, more centralized in some capacities.
Because you have a beautiful campus. I just have
Thank
to
you.
say that it is absolutely gorgeous.
And with the Lepke Gallery being at the North Campus facility, when we bring in visiting artists and lectures in the auditorium, we're able to open the gallery up, and there's multiple sources for the students to learn from, both in the gallery as well as from the visiting artists.
Wow, terrific. So you've got some things coming up. You've got a lot of things coming up.
As
Let's start
always.
at the top of the list.
All right.
Where do you want to start? You're in charge.
Well, I'll tell you, one thing that I'm personally excited about is we're doing an exhibition with Frank Lilligren, who, in my opinion, is a local treasure. To give you a little background about Frank Lilligren, he was born and raised in New York City. He was born in 1930 and began his career actually as an animator, but as an incredibly talented illustrator and fine artist. And in the 50s and 60s, he was very connected within the New York Art Student League and became a commercial illustrator, doing illustrations for books, magazines, things of that nature. And was a contemporary of Norman Rockwell and just has such a unique story. And he, in the early 1970s, moved to Van Wert with his wife, who is from there, and since then has continued to be a practicing artist. And we are showcasing a collection of these illustrations that he produced from the 50s and
We have
60s.
2 to look at, I think, 1 or 2. Let's look at them with their viewers. Okay, this one, it's an incredible image. What is it's superimposed on the corner of a bear? Is that part of the actual drawing, or
This one in particular, titled "The Yellow Terror," it's an incredible image of this man falling off his horse and being surrounded by bees.
Bees, yeah.
And this was used in a magazine of the time period about this story of the Yellow Terror and of these fierce bees. And at the bottom is an image of a bear square that was used as part of the conceptual process with the art director never made it into the final production.
Really?
But what's unique about this exhibition that we're putting together is that he not only gave us the final original illustrations. Him and his wife donated these to the university for educational purposes.
Wow.
But he also gave us his complete archive from those illustrations. So we have the
All
source.
the beginning drawings.
Oh, that
The
sort of
concept.
the concept and the
Yes.
drawings and I'm on a napkin thinking what I'm going to draw. And
You got it.
So you'll be able to put those together as sort of the journey of a given image.
Yes. So
Oh,
in
wow.
the case of that image, we have from the initial sketch all the way to the final printed image in the original
Fantastic.
magazine.
How big is that image? It's hard to
It's
tell.
about a 18 by 24.
Okay.
That was about the size at that time. Most of the final illustrations are gouache on board,
Okay.
which is similar to an acrylic or a watercolor.
The second image that we have is in color, and I note that the first one was gray or black and white, and this one is in color. Again, it's a cowboy theme of some sort. I mean, did he illustrate for a cowboy magazine or
Many of the
Lone Ranger?
Many of the final illustrations were for pulp fiction novels that had
okay.
a Western theme. And the reason why the first image that we looked at was in black and white or more of a monochrome image was that it was on an interior spread.
Oh, right.
So it was inside the magazine, black and white. This was meant for a cover. Of a novel.
They could put a lot of text on the white if it
Absolutely.
was a cover. Yeah, I can see that. Well, that's fantastic. And that exhibit is when?
That exhibit runs from November 23rd through December 20th at our Goldfish Gallery at the Roland Art Center.
Okay.
And the opening is on November 23rd from 6 to 9 p.m. And if you want to meet Frank Lilligren, he'll be at the opening reception.
I think I would, and I think I'll bring a cowboy hat
Yeah.
and park my horse out back, see if he'll throw me. All right, so you have a theme of illustrators this year.
Yes.
You've got another illustration show.
Yes, in tandem with the New York Illustrators Society, we are bringing in their National Traveling Exhibition, and that will be in the Weatherhead Gallery adjacent to the Frank Lilligren exhibit. And that exhibit is a tradition nationally. This is the 55th year that they've done this exhibition. And this exhibition travels around the United States, and it showcases the very best at what's happening contemporarily in illustration.
Wow.
Not only in traditional illustration, but also digital composition as well as animation.
Well, if you're going to do a contemporary show, you have to have like we were talking, they're coming digital, they're coming in drawing, they're coming in all forms. So does that mean you went out and hunted this down? Or
No,
do you
we-
normally bring the show?
This is the first time we've brought this show
Okay.
to our campus. We worked directly with the New York Society, and we coordinated a scenario where we could access the exhibition while it was traveling, and then we knew that we had this exhibition of Frank Lilligren's work, so it's a natural partnership between.
It is. Yeah, it's a nice theme, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Here's one that they're showing on the screen, Hockney. I love this. Because if that happens to be a portrait of Hockney, it's not at all who I thought the artist was. You know, his images are so American and so, I don't know, placid, if you will. And you look at this image, that's one bitter smoking old man.
Sure. This is one of the award winners from the
It is.
exhibit by Joe Ciardello.
Okay.
And
How many images are coming?
There are over 50 images as well as animated stills from their digital competition.
Fantastic. And this is in
The Weatherhead Gallery at the Roland Art Center.
Is the Weatherhead Gallery the all-glass one that you
Yes.
walk into from that nice path off of the street? Yes, I have been there several times. My first journey into there was when the trolley tour used to exist.
Yes.
Yeah, and I walked into that gallery and I was very jealous because it is a beautiful showplace.
It's so amazing.
And
to
it's
be,
quite large compared to what it looks like from outside.
Right.
Because
yes.
you walk in and it just keeps going and going. So yeah, that's
it's
fantastic.
very flexible, and I really consider it a great honor to be able to work there each day. It's something new each and every day.
Right. So it's called Illustration 55 because it's the 55th year, so next year will be Illustration 56. Have I caught that?
Yeah.
I'm a dean, you know. I can add these things up. How about the third exhibit we were going to talk about?
Yes, the third exhibit is one that's involved with our permanent collection. At our Lepke Gallery, we're showcasing highlights from our Sacred Icon collection. And the university was given this collection of sacred icons by William and Joanne McNagny, who are very well known in the local community and were avid collectors of art, and over decades traveled around the world collecting these sacred icons.
That was their passion,
Yes.
Right.
really, to collect these icons. We had an image of it. I'd like to show that image again because I wanted to ask you what the medium was. Is this? How big is this, and what is the medium? Because when I looked at it in preparation, it looked like it has gold leaf at least, or it's actually three-dimensional.
It's not directly three-dimensional, but there is a relief to it.
There is.
The majority of the icons that they collected were cast icons. These were mostly Eastern European, Russian icons that were cast usually in brass, and then at times would be gilt with gold leaf. The color that's found in these are made with an enamel that is applied to the brass. But they're metal pieces. The largest usually are around 11 by 14 and then are smaller in size. They become very intimate jewels, almost
11 by 14
inches.
Yes.
That is some icon, 11 by 14.
Sure.
Takes up the whole gallery. Well, that's fantastic. How many do you have in the collection?
We have over 100 icons from their collection, and it's one of the finest in the United States.
What are the dates of that show?
The dates for the Sacred Icon exhibit are from November 18th through January 17th at the Lepke Gallery, and that is at the North Campus facility across the street from the mansion in the lake.
And for more information, our viewers can call 260-399-7700, extension 8001. That's 260-399-7700, extension 8001. Well, I'm going to tell you, aside from the jealousy that I'm experiencing right now, you guys are doing a fantastic job at St. Francis. And I really look forward to the fall exhibits. And quite a collection, Rick.
It is quite a collection.
And now you have the other illustrations added to your permanent collection.
Yeah, I think we now have over 5,000 pieces of art in our collection.
Well, thank you both for being on Arts Weekly. I appreciate you taking the time. I'm John O'Connell, Dean of the IPFW College of Visual and Performing Arts. Please tune in next time on Arts Weekly when we'll hear all about the next IPFW Guitar, Flute, and Wind Ensemble concerts with special guests Laura Leidy and Dan Tembris. For up-to-the-minute arts updates, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Be sure to join us here live Thursday evenings at 7:30 on PBS 39. Thank you for watching Arts Weekly.
The preceding program on PBS 39 was made possible in part by Arts Weekly, celebrating regional expression, performance, and creativity, is brought to you in part by the Edward D. and Ione Auer Foundation, the Ian and Mimi Rowland Foundation, the family of Dr. Christopher and Kirsten LaSalle, and the support of viewers like you. Thank you.